Hey everyone, and welcome to our deep dive. Ever dream of launching your own tech business, without the Silicon Valley price tag?
Absolutely. It's really incredible how the MicroSaaS model is changing the game for so many aspiring entrepreneurs.
Right. It's not about building a massive empire right out the gate. It's about finding those niche problems, those little headaches that people are dealing with every day, and creating those elegant solutions that people are actually willing to pay for.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of the MicroSauce model. You can start small, validate your idea, and then scale up as you go, all without needing a ton of upfront investment.
So let's dive right into it, shall we? Our first MicroSaaS blueprint takes us into the world of, well, influencers, fashion influencers to be exact.
Ah, yes, constantly juggling photo shoots, brand deals, and a never-ending stream of content. It's a lot to manage.
And that's where this MicroSauce comes in. Imagine a social media scheduling tool, but not just any scheduler. This one is laser focused on the unique needs of fashion influencers.
Right, think about it. Instead of generic posts, they need to schedule Instagram stories with clickable outfit links, plan content around new collection launches.
Oh, and imagine integrating that with those shoppable posts features that are becoming so popular.
Precisely. And because this microsauce is so specialized, it can command a premium price compared to those generic scheduling tools out there.
Because let's be real, those fashion influencers, they're willing to invest in tools that streamline their workflow and ultimately, help them grow their brand. And the bad part, building this doesn't require you to be a coding whiz. Our source actually suggests using no-code tools like Bubble.
Bubble is fantastic for this. It's so visual. You're essentially dragging and dropping elements to create the logic of your scheduler. No need to write complex code. It's surprisingly intuitive.
Exactly. You're basically piecing together the puzzle of your microzones visually. So we've gone from the runway to, well, the virtual classroom with our next microsons idea.
Online education is booming, but getting started can be so overwhelming, especially for those just starting out.
It's true. They're juggling multiple free platforms, trying to host their courses, manage students, deal with certificates. It's a lot.
This Microsoft is like a Swiss Army knife for online educators. It would provide a streamlined solution for everything, course hosting, student management, even certificate generation, all without those hefty fees that come with the bigger platforms.
And let's not forget about the payment integration. Imagine seamlessly connecting with platforms like Stripe or PayPal, making it super easy for these educators to manage their income.
Right. No need to be a financial expert. This MicroSaaS would handle the heavy lifting. Speaking of handling things, let's talk about our next idea, a lifesaver for landlords.
Oh yeah, even managing a few properties can feel like a full-time job. Rent collection, fielding maintenance requests, keeping tenants in the loop, it's a lot.
Absolutely. And a lot of existing property management software is either too expensive or way too complicated for landlords who are just starting out or who only manage a handful of properties.
This MicroSaaS would be perfect for those landlords. Imagine a simple interface for tracking rent payments, a streamlined system for managing those pesky maintenance requests.
Maybe even some basic financial reporting tools built right in so they can keep tabs on their cash flow without needing a degree in accounting.
And here's an interesting thought. This MicroSaaS could actually grow with a landlord. As they acquire more properties, they might need more advanced features, right?
Right, and that's where the opportunity to upsell comes in. You've already built that relationship, so as their needs evolve, you can introduce them to a more robust version of your software.
It's all about starting small, solving a specific problem, and then scaling alongside your customers. And since we're on the topic of managing multiple things at once, let's talk about freelancers.
Mhm.
Our next MicroSauce idea is all about streamlining their workflows.
Freelancers, they're juggling clients, projects, deadlines. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, right?
For sure, and so many project management tools are built for teams, not for those flying solo. This MicroSauce gets that. It would be like their personalized command center for all things freelance.
Exactly. Think about stripping away all those bells and whistles that freelancers don't need. Focus on the essentials deadlines, task management, maybe some simple time tracking.
Our source even suggests building on existing platforms to keep those costs down. Imagine creating customized templates within a tool like Notion, tailoring them specifically for freelancers.
That's such a smart approach. It leverages the power of these existing tools while still providing a unique solution to a specific target audience. I love it.
And speaking of freelancers, let's talk about those whose work is the content. I'm talking bloggers, writers, anyone who's ever stared at a blank page and felt that little flicker of panic.
Oh, the dreaded writer's block. It gets us all. And, one of the biggest challenges for content creators, especially those in niche areas, is content curation.
It's true, they spend hours, days even, scouring the internet for fresh ideas, trying to stay ahead of the trends.
Which is where this next MicroSaaS idea comes in. Imagine a tool that acts like their personal research assistant. But instead of just generic keyword tools, this one is hyper-focused.
Right. This isn't just about finding any old article. It's about uncovering those hidden gems, those pieces of content that are specifically relevant to the blogger's niche.
And because it's tailored to their needs, it can deliver those curated insights that would have taken them hours to find on their own, if they even found them at all.
Talk about a time saver. Okay, moving from content inspiration to something every online business needs, a healthy email list. But, I feel like we often overlook just how important it is to keep that list clean.
Absolutely. A bloated email list with inactive addresses, it can actually do more harm than good.
Yeah.
Think about it. High bounce rates can hurt your email deliverability.
So you're saying that even if people want to get your emails, they might not even see them because your sender reputation is,
Exactly. It's like sending a postcard but writing the address in invisible ink. No matter how good your message is, it's not going to get through.
ouch. Okay, I get it. Clean lists are crucial. So how does a MicroSauce fit into all of this?
This MicroSauce would be an email list cleaning service. But here's the key. It's tailored specifically for small businesses. It wouldn't need all those complex features that bigger companies use, just the essentials.
So basically, a simple, affordable way for small businesses to make sure their emails are actually reaching the right people. I like it. And speaking of reaching the right people, let's talk about influencer marketing, specifically those who often get overlooked, micro-influencers.
Ah, yes. They have these incredibly engaged audiences, but often lack access to those sophisticated analytics tools that bigger influencers use.
They're left trying to cobble together insights from different platforms, trying to prove their value to brands.
It's like they're trying to navigate by the stars when they really need a GPS, right?
Exactly. And that's where this MicroSauce steps in. Imagine an analytics tool designed specifically for those with, say, 1,000 to 50,000 followers.
It would track the metrics that matter most to them. Follower growth, engagement rates, audience demographics, empowering them with the data they need to secure those brand deals, because their insights are valuable.
Absolutely. Okay, from influencer insights to, well, job hunting insights, which, let's be honest, can feel like a full-time job in itself these days.
Oh, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Keeping track of applications, deadlines, interview schedules, it's enough to make anyone want to just crawl under their weighted blanket and hide.
This next MicroSauce idea is like having a personal assistant for your job search. Imagine a streamlined tool where you can store all your application materials, set deadlines, schedule interviews, jot down notes about each company.
And imagine the integrations. You could sync it with your Google Calendar, your LinkedIn profile, automating those follow-up reminders and interview confirmations.
Because who needs the added stress of missing a deadline or double booking an interview, right?
Right. It's about removing those mental roadblocks and letting job seekers focus on what truly matters, showcasing their skills and landing that dream job.
And speaking of taking control of your well-being, let's transition into the world of fitness. Now, there are tons of fitness apps out there, but I feel like there's often a gap when it comes to personalization.
I agree. So many apps offer these generic plans that don't consider individual health conditions. And that's a problem.
Right. What if you have diabetes? Arthritis.
Yeah.
This next MicroSauce idea is all about creating fitness trackers tailored to specific health conditions.
And I'm not just talking about modifying exercises, but potentially integrating health-related data. Imagine syncing the app with a user's blood glucose monitor or their wearable fitness tracker.
It would be like having a personal trainer and a health coach all in one. And speaking of personalized experiences, our next MicroSaaS idea is something we all can relate to, I think, booking appointments.
Whether it's finding a new stylist, booking a massage, or even scheduling that overdue car maintenance, it seems like there's always a need for a better booking system.
Right. The big platforms are often too expensive for small businesses, and the simpler ones might be missing key features.
This MicroSaaS would be the Goldilocks solution. Not too big, not too small, just right. Think online booking, automated appointment reminders, client management, all easy to use and affordable.
And the beauty is it could be built by leveraging existing tools. Imagine using a platform like Squarespace and integrating a scheduling plugin, keeping those development costs super low.
Exactly. It's about working smarter, not harder, and finding those creative solutions that are both effective and budget-friendly.
Speaking of budget-friendly, our next idea tackles a pain point that's all too real for freelancers and small business owners: managing expenses.
Oh, yes. It's a jungle out there.
Yeah.
Juggling invoices, receipts, trying to remember if that coffee was a business expense or not.
And it's not just about, knowing where the money went. It's about staying on top of taxes too, which can be a real headache for freelancers.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole other level of juggling.
Right. So this MicroSaaS idea is like their personal finance assistant.
Exactly. Imagine a tool that not only tracks their income and expenses, but helps them categorize everything, generate invoices, even estimate those quarterly tax payments.
It's like having a bookkeeper in your pocket. And the best part is, it doesn't need to be super complicated to be effective.
You're right. You could even start with something like a Google Sheets template and then integrate a few financial APIs to automate some of those tasks.
It's about taking something familiar and making it work harder for you, which, that's kind of the whole MicroSaaS philosophy, isn't it? Taking existing tools and tailoring them to solve those niche problems.
Precisely. And speaking of tailoring solutions, we've talked a lot about the importance of listening to your customers, but how do businesses actually do that effectively?
That's a great question. It's easy to say listen to your customers, but putting it into practice is a whole other story.
It really is. And that's where our final MicroSaaS idea comes in. Imagine a tool that helps small businesses gather really valuable customer feedback.
Because let's be real, those generic survey tools, they don't always cut it, do they?
No, not really. It's like trying to understand a movie by just watching the trailer, right? You're not getting the full picture.
Exactly. So this MicroSaaS would be like watching the entire movie in HD.
I like that analogy. It would provide that deeper level of insight, helping small businesses understand what's working, what's not, and what their customers truly want.
And again, it doesn't need to be this big, expensive platform. You could combine something like Typeform for those user-friendly surveys and Google Sheets for storing and analyzing the data.
Simple, affordable, and incredibly effective. And there you have it, 12 MicroSaaS ideas, each with the potential to become a thriving business. And the best part, each one is completely doable for less than $500. It's amazing to think about.
It is. We've gone from social media scheduling to fitness tracking, even helped landlords get their properties in order, all thanks to the power of MicroSaaS.
It's truly remarkable how accessible this business model is. You don't need a huge budget or a team of developers to make it happen. Just a good idea, a bit of creativity, and that willingness to, roll up your sleeves and get to work.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as you, our awesome listeners, are out there pondering which one of these MicroSaaS ideas sparked that entrepreneurial fire, just remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Pace yourself, stay curious, and don't be afraid to connect with others in the MicroSaaS community. There's so much support out there.
Absolutely, you don't have to go it alone. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep those entrepreneurial sparks flying, and we'll see you in the next episode.